What is happening, guys? Welcome back. So, another episode on the T5, and in this one, we're going to get on with making the interior for the van. You may have seen these units in a previous episode or other content that's been on the channel. So these are just raw MDF versions that I machined out as cheap as possible to get all the scribes and everything in, so we knew that they fitted. I'll explain more about what we're doing, how we're making it, and the process that we've gone through up to this point in a little bit in the video. But the van is empty, which can only mean one thing. We're going to head over now to pick the materials up, and we're going to go and see the guys at Bossway Conversions in Peterborough, who are going to be supplying us with the materials for the build. So yeah, sun's shining, let's get in the van, cruise over, see what they're all about, and grab the materials. So, one of my favourite things, out cruising in the van, that cruise control, I keep saying it in other videos, but the cruise control in this van makes it an absolute pleasure. And the fact that it's not out as much now, but we've got a bit of clear blue sky, sun's been out, really nice drive over, and we're over here at Bossway Conversions. We've got Glenn, he's been up to our place before. We're trying to work on something else, weren't we? And
yeah. I think it will still come off.
It will still come off. If you're on Instagram, you may have seen it. Yeah, very cryptic. We'll get it working and we'll show you what that is. But what we've come over for is to collect all of this lot, which is a hell of a lot of material for units in not a very big van. So we've got poplar throughout, lightweight plywood, the proper stuff that you use for van conversion things, nice and lightweight. Facing laminates for the cupboards, worktop laminates, backing laminates, and then we've got the edging, and there's a little sneak peek of the colour. Woohoo! It's gonna look damn good. So yeah, massive thank you to Bossway Conversions for helping us out with these materials. I'll put a link in the description to their website and everything. VIP van conversions, camper van conversions, and they will also supply you with materials like this to build your own furniture, loose or pre-laminated, pre-bonded, edgings. They'll sell you kit form, camper van interiors for any van, fly lining kits, anything you need for a van. If you're doing a van, check the website out below, hit them up,
give us a ring,
give them a ring. Yeah.
If it's not on the website, we'll still find it and help you out with it.
See, that's what we like from a helpful company. But yeah, check them out. So yeah, massive thank you for helping with this. We better get this loaded up so I can get back and make a start, because we're down to about 2 weeks before we go away.
No pressure.
Right, before we get on with that, I want to talk to you a little bit about today's video sponsor. So, anyone that's followed the channel for a while will know that I'm pretty open about the fact that I have suffered with my mental health over the past few years, which is the whole reason this channel came about. 2019, I had a breakdown. I was ready to end it all. I was in a really dark place. Went on and started to see a therapist, and after the first session, I came out like a completely different person, and continued the therapy on, and it helps. It really does help. Talking helps so much. So I want to say a massive thank you today for BetterHelp for sponsoring the video. Now, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy service that is 100% online, meaning you can get the help you need from the comfort of your own home. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you out with a wide range of issues. To get started, head to their website and answer a few questions about your preferences and needs for a therapist. You'll then be matched up with the right therapist from their network. You can then talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's text, phone chat, video call, and you can even message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions at a time convenient for you. If your therapist isn't right for you, which can happen, then you can change your therapist at any time for no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same level of professionalism and quality that you get from an in-person therapy, but with a therapist who is custom picked for you and at a more affordable price. So click the link in the video description or visit betterhelp.com/Dan Chambers to get 10% off your first month. A massive thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring the episode. Right, let's get back on with it. Good morning. So we got back last night after collecting all the materials from Bossway Conversions, and I just want to say a massive thank you again to the guys for supporting us, supplying us with the materials to build this new camper interior. And I think the colours that we've picked are going to look absolutely mega. So I thought before we get everything out and get started on it, I'll explain a little bit about my process and the way that I'm going to do them. So before the whole YouTube thing, I was a joiner and sort of shop fitter manufacturer for just shy of 15 years. So I've got a lot of experience in it. Everything from, well, yeah, from an apprentice, project manager, from doing everything, CAD drawing, running CNC machines, running different machines, actually physically building it, installing it. So I've done every single area of it, and I really do have quite a lot of experience and know what I'm doing in it. So we bring in the shop fitting side of things into camper building. So this set of units here that I mentioned were in a previous video, where I just ran out of raw as a cheap way of making sure that things are going to work. So we designed the units how we wanted them, had all of the returns done square, and we've scribed them in to the van by hand with a jigsaw. And once we'd done that, we then went on and drew all of these lines. So these lines are, if there's quite a tight curve, the lines are every 10 mil. Or if it's quite a lazy curve or quite a big bit, they're every 30 mil. So basically what we did was we did all this. We then went into CAD, drew that line and drew that line, and then measured those 10 mil lines or 10 mil space lines that way, that way, that way. And every single line, we struck a line, and that would then tell you the length of that line, would then give you the external point, which would then create your curve, create your scribe up to the back of the van. It's a very, very long-winded way of doing it, but I'm old school. I've always worked in 2D. I've never tried working, I've tried working in 3D and I don't get on with it. So stick with what you know. I do want to learn 3D, but stick with what you know. I've used this time and time again and it works. So that then creates the CNC'd scribe, which technically, hopefully, as long as what's on the computer is the same as what we took out of the van, this unit should fix together, push into the van, and you not have to touch it with a bit of kit. It should all be scribed in and everything. So that was that process. And then now the process with raw boards and loose sheet laminate. We have got to bond up the boards into what we need for the CNC. So I'll try and show you the drawings. I've not got CAD on my laptop, it's on my brother's. I'll try and get a screen grab of what they look like when we're designing them and what the front of the units, etc. look like in CAD. But once you've designed the units, you then break it down into individual component form, which is this. So you've got the front panel, you've got some shelves, doors. These are the drawers that are going to go in. Then you've got the tool rear unit, front ends, door, shelves, things like that. And I've got all the information on here that I need to put the unit together. So these dimensions here tell me that I need to drill in the end of the board in these centres. I've got every single hole that we will need, even down to the holes for the hinges to go on. It's a sort of, some of it is like a flat pack furniture construction. So you've got what's called a Camandale, which I'll try and put a picture in here now, which if you've ever put flat pack furniture together, you'll know them. Some of it is screwed and rebaited. Drawer boxes, for example, are screwed and rebaited. So this here is a 15 or 17 mil thick panel. There's 5 mil left down in this little groove bit, which is what this little detail goes into. 2 screws through the front. Mill and edge, so that means we've got to edge, that edge, that edge. Even down to, on the drawings, if I can find MTFU, so that means mitre this face up 11.5 degrees. So that means we'll put a bevel on that panel, which will then match this bevel here. So you just try and put all the information on there, so you've not got to keep referring back to the computer. Again, all the drawer and holes and everything are in, cam holes are in, and these are all the scribed parts back to the walls of the van. So hopefully that lot's going to work. From there, when you've got it into component form, you then do this, which is putting it into board form. So this is what is going to go onto the CNC machine to be machined. So it's all laid up in sheets with all your information. That's a bit better. All your information: 15mm poplar throughout, blonded, blue backer, 2mm, 4mm, 5mm, 6mm, 50mm toes. The CNC, everything that it needs to do to cut those out. But to get to that stage, we then need this set of drawings, which are what we've got to cut from the materials that are in the van. So this is my list of what we've got to cut out of the ply. This is the list of what we've got to cut out of the blue facing material. These are the white backing pieces, and then these are the wood grain boards that we've got to cut, and each one is labelled up sheet 5, sheet 6. So every one I cut, bit of masking tape on, right on what it is, so we've got a reference as to what it is, and we can then get them bonded up. So guarantee you I'm going to get some comments about this section of me waffling on and talking too much. And there's too much talking in your videos. I've got a lot I want to explain. There's a lot goes on into building these vans. And you know we like to get a bit of information out and explain to you how we do them. So I need to sort stuff out in here. We need to get the van out, get the van unloaded. I need to go to my brother's and pick some bits of wood up. I need to make a bench. We need to get ourselves sorted out. The glue should be here at some point today. So yeah, I'm not sure what we'll film next. You might see me back here when we set up and ready to start cutting and bonding stuff up so I can just get it sorted. So yeah, sorry if I've waffled too much, but at the same time, we want to explain to you the process of doing it. So I'll see you back here in a bit.
I want to tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall. I drive away into the night and I contemplate for a while. Don't you think for the people that pass me by, back my stuff and leave sooner than this? Don't you think for the people that pass me by, back my stuff and leave sooner than this? Don't you wish I would have been someone else? I want to feel your gap without making a mess at you. Won't you tell me something new? I want to tell you something new.
So, before we left, we made ourselves a bench out of some random bits of wood that we found out in the garden that were left over from when we did the building and parts on the house. And I've got to say, it is absolutely solid. It's not going anywhere. Perfect height, nice 8x4 size. I've been over to my brother's, who has very kindly donated. There's a sheet of MDF. It's a baseboard from when sheets are delivered, so a sacrificial board, so nothing gets damaged. So it's no loss to him really. But thank you very much for giving me it. We have also now been through and cut all the laminate. We've cut all the boards, and then we've got more of the laminate over here. Like I showed you earlier on the drawings we've got, they're all individual pieces. So that piece is 1040 by 1220, bonded blue and backer. And that's for a specific area in the van, and it's backer so because it's an area that you're not going to see when you open a door or anything, just to bring the cost down because the white is a hell of a lot cheaper. So what we're going to do now is we've got a suction feed spray gun with a 2mm tip in it, and we are using construction chemical spray contact adhesive high heat resistance, which is the stuff that we used to use for years and years and years when we were doing shop fitting manufacture. Great stuff, never had a problem with it. So basically you glue that piece of wood, you glue that piece of laminate, push them together, and then we'll get a bit of wood, wrap it in a rag, push them down, push them together. That's one side done, bond the other side, and then that is that piece done. And we've just got to do that for, I think it's 6 or 7 sheets that we've got to do. So we'll leave it on time lapse, we'll get all of these bonded up, and then we can drop them off to my brother and move on to the next stage. Right, let's get this done. It's testing me. It's been a long time since I've done any of this, but I'm actually quite enjoying it. Good morning. So an absolutely amazing day yesterday. We managed to get everything bonded up apart from this one sheet that is left on the bench. The rest of it is sat here in the van, ready to go over to the CNC machine with the drawing of each sheet that we've worked to, taped to each sheet. So the guys on the CNC, so Heggy's going to know what sheet's what, where it goes, and how it's supposed to be run. Now, we've got this one sheet here that is obviously left to bond up, and you may be able to see, we've had to extend this sheet. So, as a standard sheet form, a lot of materials are as a standard size, as other sizes, but as a standard size, these sheets come in 1220 millimeters wide, 2440 millimeters long, so 8 foot by 4 foot. Now, these sheets are slightly bigger. They're 1220 wide, 1220 wide, by 2500 in the length. So they're 60 mil longer, but we needed it to be that little bit longer just to get a couple of other bits out. So we've cut ourselves a slither off here and joined it. Now, all my workings out were done to the baseboard being 2440, so the laminate is about 60 mil short of this sheet, but it's not going to be a problem because it's still the size that we needed. So to join this piece here, obviously we ripped a piece out, and then we've used something called a biscuit cutter, which is this bit of kit here. So that face sits on that face, that goes up to the end, and when you push it in, there's a blade that comes out and spins, and that basically puts a groove in the board like that, and it's a little sort of half round scallop in the board. And then you use something called a biscuit, which is this. So these go in, look at that, they go in basically like that into the board, all the way along. I think there's 16 or something along that edge. Load of PVA glue in there, take the joint together, make sure it's flat, make sure it's in the correct place, let the glue go off, and then now all we've got to do is sand the face flat. If you're going to use one of them, always work off the same face with the cutter. That'll mean that you'll get one face flat. If you go top and then bottom on the other side, it'll be stepped, because trying to get that absolutely to the 0.1 of a millimeter perfect by eye, it's possible, but it's very, very difficult. So always work off the same face and you'll get a flush edge. So what we need to do now is sand that joint flat, get them bits of laminate bonded to that, and then we can head over to my brother's and get it on the CNC machine and start seeing this interior actually come into life and off the piece of paper. And as quick and easy as that, all the boards are bonded. We've got them loaded in the van, and we're going to head over now to my brother's and hopefully get them on the machine pretty sharpish. Would you believe that that stack of boards there is just over £1,000 in materials? All right, with the edging as well, but yeah, £1,000, just over £1,000 for all of that lot. Absolutely crazy how expensive everything's got now. And I toned it back as well. I was going for a slightly different laminate. We toned it back to bring the cost down a little bit. So we'll go over there, see what they're about, and hopefully we'll be able to show you the CNC process, and I'll try and explain a little bit about that too. So here we are over at my brother's place then. So he's a shop fitter manufacturer. Here's his CNC machine. So I'm going to leave them with the camera. They're going to run this stuff. I'll come back in a little bit, and then we'll see how they've got on and what the stuff looks like. So we've just got back and stuff has been machined. It fits down there. We've got the front fascia piece here, and there's a pallet of stuff over there as well, which is what we now need to go through. So what we're going to be doing here is edge banding it, which will put the finishing tape on the edge of all the boards so that it looks all nice. But the machine that they've been machined on is this here, which is a, proper bit of kit. It's called a jumbo bed, so it's 3 metre by 2 metre bed. It's got 16 separate tools on that carousel, and there's a 10 drill bank as well in there, so you can have 10 different diameter drill bits, plus you can have 16 different types of tools. So there's a V-grooving bit in there, there's a skimmer there for the bed, you've got a radius cutter, you've got a smaller twin 6 flute, and you've got the normal 12.7 that they would cut with, or ½ inch. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed watching that. They blow my mind, essentially. It's such a versatile and brilliant bit of kit. So we've got everything cut out, and this video is starting to get a little bit long. So we're going to end this video here, and we will be back with the next episode where we're going to start working on this bit of kit and another bit of kit next door, getting all of these parts sorted and ready. We've got to end bore the pieces so that we've got all the holes that match up with these holes here, so everything fits together. We need to edge band everything, and then get it back to the workshop, start putting it together. So hopefully you've enjoyed this one then, guys. Until next time, enjoy.